Hello, everybody. I'm Leah Miller with Creative Aging Network. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to make a fabric banner today, and so you'll get a list of supplies and the instructions with your kit. You'll get one type of fabric in your kit. It could be anything. We have a wide variety, so it'll be a surprise. So you'll have one piece of fabric, and I'm going to choose this one to use. I'm not sure which direction I want to hang it. I think I'm going to do it vertically like this. So I'll set that aside. You'll get a dowel to hang it from. You'll get some other scraps of fabric, and you can use these as they are, or you can cut them into other shapes if you prefer. Get some buttons and other little items, little mosaic squares, any type of little items you might have. You can choose what you want to use. You can add some from your own collection if you have some. You'll get some random pieces of yarn and ribbon, and these are interesting. Just a variety of just scraps of supplies to use to decorate your fabric banner. You'll also get some glue and a inexpensive brush to use with your glue. So I'm going to set my instructions aside just so I have space to work. And the first thing that I am going to do, now that I've looked at all of the supplies I have, I'm going to set my instructions aside and set my dowel aside, because the first thing I'm going to do is decorate my piece of fabric. Put my brush up there with my glue. I'm looking at all the supplies I have, decided I'm going to have my fabric this direction. And I just kind of want to see what it looks like. I'm going to play with these different materials to see what happens when I overlay them in different areas. Where does it show up best? Where does it blend in? It's a very similar color here, but it's a really nice texture. And with this, because it's bendable, we can really shape it and make it more of a 3D piece that sits off of the banner if we want to. I have this color, which again really matches this color that I put it over, but we can put it in another place that it shows up more. So it's really your choice. Again, this is that it's mesh and it's very movable. So this is really interesting. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with these pieces, so I'm just going to set them here. This interesting sort of furry pieces of thread or ribbon. And the colors are complementary to what I have here already. So this really, the yellow stands out very nicely against these bluish colors, and it blends in more with my golden background. So I just have to decide, where do I want to put that? Kind of like it right at the edge, actually. So I might put that there. And I'm still laying things out and just kind of deciding where I want them to go. I am going to use this yarn. It's long enough that I could cut it into different shapes or roll it up, but I think I'll use it to hang my banner when the time comes. So if I do cut it, I'll want to just, leave enough that I can wrap it around the dowel. So I'll set this aside for right now, because that's probably the last thing that I'll use. This really pretty golden thread. This might be interesting to wrap around a shape, kind of outline the shape. And I may not use everything. I might choose to just use some of these items and leave some of them. I can shape this yarn into different designs. I like that. And then I'll add the buttons as well. So, all right. So you may want to decide on how you're going to make your design before you begin gluing things down, or you can just let it evolve. There's really no wrong way. And interestingly, some of these little threads from this mesh have come out. So I could even use those separately. I'll just set those aside. I think I do really like this gold ribbon here, and I like this little guy here. So I'm going to start with that. And I'm just gonna put the glue right on the back of this yarn in a few places. So this takes some dexterity. Just a couple of little drops, and then I'm just going to set this down right here, and I can, now that I have glue on it, I can kind of shape it and make it stick in a way that I want. You will get glue on your fingers, so I hope that doesn't bother you. What do I want to do next? I guess I could do this gold. And this thread, I may end up cutting it so that I can actually make it go around this shape. So you don't have scissors in your kit, but most people have a pair of scissors at home. So you can just get your scissors and cut the ribbon to shape. And for this, I'm going to put the glue right down on my banner. I might just do this across the top. I might not put it all the way around. Put it down there and see. Yeah. Maybe I'll put a piece here and a piece there. Now that I see it down, I kind of like that idea. So what do I want to do next? So this is a very similar color to this shape. I like that. So I could, I could put it here where I have a similar color with the orange on top of the orange. I could do this just to add some texture and additional shape. I could do it straight down the middle. I could put it in a shape if I wanted to, little circle. Just kind of playing with it to see what I like. Do a zigzag kind of shape, a squiggle. I'm not sure yet what I want to do with that. And I may just want to do some straight lines. This geometric pattern kind of lends itself to some straight lines and some organic shapes, kind of that combination. I do know I like this here. I'm just going to trim off. I like the angle on the bottom edge here, so I'm going to make an angle like that on this side as well. Do I want to put that along the edge? Do I want to put it at an angle within there? I'm just not sure yet. I think before I put that down, I might want to look at these shapes and colors and see, do I want to use them like they are? Or do I want to cut them into another shape? Ooh, that's kind of nice and shiny. The gray, I'm not feeling the gray too much. I like these two, and the texture is really lovely. This is very soft. It's pretty thick, and then this is very silky. So I'm going to set my gray aside. I'm going to use these, and I think I might do, let's see what I'm going to do. I might do a heart shape. I'm going to cut a heart out of here. Now, the easiest way to make a heart is to fold this in half. And I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to cut the shape out without doing any kind of measuring, and hopefully I'll get it right. So I'm going to do a little part of a circle, and I'm going to just turn the fabric as I'm cutting. I'm not usually big on making heart shapes, but Valentine's Day is coming up while I'm doing this, so it's kind of on my mind. So now I could put it right in the middle. I could layer it over this color that's very similar, offset it. I could put it down here at the bottom. I could have it hanging off the corner. I kind of like that. Maybe over here where it really stands out separately. I like it hanging off. So I'm actually, while this is still wet, I'm going to move this shape. Now I want to change this. I don't want to take it away because I like it. I still like it. But I do want to have this kind of hanging off the corner. Let me first glue this down. I may replicate the heart shape right here with this thread. See, this is how things evolve. So I already have some glue here. I'm going to draw the shape of a heart right here with my glue. So it's not a perfect heart shape because it's hard to do. So I have my blue heart that's hanging off the bottom here. It's a nice balance to these colors, very similar. And then I have this sort of a purplish ribbon heart. I want to also do a gold heart, and I think I'm going to overlap it here, and then I have these really nice textures together. So this is a smaller abstract piece, shape. So I have to kind of fold it and see where can I get the most fabric together. Is it going to be up here or down here? I think it's going to be down here. So I'm just folding it together to see where can I get the fattest part to make the top of the heart. And this is going to be the best way for me to do that. So I have it folded in half, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other fabric. And that is to cut my circular roundish shape across the top and then come down to the corner. This is a little bit harder to work with because it's silky, so it's slippery. It's a little bit slippery. Do I want it to go there now that I have it cut and look at it? I have these two down here. It actually could go up here. That's kind of nice. It could go in the center. That's kind of sweet. Or these three. I like having three of them. An odd number really makes it stand out a little more. I don't like it down there. It's too much happening down there. I think I like it up here on this one, centered. So I'm going to hold that down with my fingers and then just put some glue onto the banner and just push it down. And put a little bit along the edge. And it's okay. It doesn't have to be glued down everywhere. Just as long as it sticks, it should be all right. So there we go. So that works. I like that. So I have my three. I'm going to put a little bit more glue down here because that little piece keeps wiggling out of place. No, I want it to stay. There we go. Okay. So I have my hearts. And like I said, you don't have to use everything. So we have some things left over. But now I have, this is a really beautiful square. It's iridescent. So it looks different with different colors there. You could do something like, this, or I kind of like that because it brings this color. Or maybe this. Just moving them around to see what design I like. Oh, I kind of like that. So I have two hearts down here, and then I have these two squares up here. Yeah, I like how that looks. I'm going to go ahead and put those down. I'm putting a big blob of glue there. Make that stick really well. There we go. I put a little too big of a blob, just pulling some of that off with my fingers, and I can push this down somewhere else. So I'm pushing that down to make sure it has good contact with the glue and the fabric. Now I have all these different really cool buttons. Some interesting shape there. I am just playing with these shapes, moving them around to see what I like, see what works. Ooh, I like that. So that's going to go here. And I am letting this evolve. That's cool. I like that shape. And I like it right there. So the colors if you look at the design, you have 3 hearts, you have these 2 squares, but this color is similar to this color is similar to the beads here. So you have this nice movement across your banner. Now, do I want to use any of these fluffy things? They're pretty interesting. I could actually use them all gathered together. This is a really nice organic addition to a very structural design that we have here. Oh, I like this little round button. That's fun. Maybe in the center there, or I kind of like it there, but let's see. We have these 3 circles. That's a little too fixed. That's kind of cool. All right, I'm not sure about this yet. I'm not sure about this one yet. So we have 3 gold buttons. Can actually use them all together like that. We have a black button and a sort of a pinkish button. This one doesn't work for me. It doesn't fit. The gray and the black, are nice together. You actually could do another little tiny banner. If you have things left over, you could come back in and do a little baby banner and even hang your little baby banner off of this. I might do that. That's kind of fun. We're up in this corner. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm not, I have this brush here, but I haven't needed to use it yet because I've used my fingers. I think I'm going to set this fabric aside. These are my scraps. I could use them. I could cut them again and add them. Like I have this triangle here. I could actually use this somewhere if I wanted to keep layering and layering, but actually that could work, So I have 2 little things going on here. Got that. But I could keep doing that with these shapes. I could use the leftovers from here to then build more shapes and add those shapes to this. So as I work on this, I may start adding to this one, kind of like that cross there, the X. Okay, so here we go. Trying to decide what else I want to add. I still have more gold ribbon. May want to come back in and add some of this later on. Maybe connect it here. Nah, we'll leave it there for now. And then I still have this cool stuff. I kind of like that overlaying the gold. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I really like that. So again, this bends a lot. So I have to decide where do I want it, how do I want it to overlay this. I like that you can't really see it, but it curves. It's a curved shape. So when I lay it down, it adds an additional layer of dimensionality. So I think I'm gonna, let's see, on top of my instructions, I'm just gonna drizzle some glue on here because I don't want the glue, I don't want to pour the glue right on here and have these globs showing up. So now I am going to use my brush and I'm just going to brush this glue along the back of this mesh so I can get some glue on it, but without having lots of globs. And I did it over the paper because I didn't want to drop it on my fabric. I'm just pressing it down. And some of this glue is not even touching the fabric because of the curves, and that's fine. So I may pull out, if there's parts that are sticking up, I might just pull out some of that glue with my brush just so I don't have those globs, even though they should dry clear. I just kind of don't want those big globs in there. And I also can press it down with the brush so that it gets better contact with that fabric. So I'm pulling some of the glue from the places that aren't touching down and just painting that glue on the places that are touching the fabric to help it stick better so it doesn't shift too much. All right, and then I can move on to the next thing, but I really like that additional texture that adds. And again, that should dry clear. So I have that. That's really cool. And I could put this down here. I'm not sure if I want to, though. I'm not sure I'm going to use this. I haven't decided yet. Though I could layer it up there. That's actually pretty cool. I think I have found where I want that to go. So now I think, now learned from doing this, pouring that on the mesh, that's not really the best way to do it. So now I'm going to put it on my brush and then just brush it onto the mesh. So I'll put a glob on my brush, and now I can actually see where the mesh is touching the fabric, and then I can just add glue to it. Then I'm going to decide, do I want to add this little piece somewhere on here? Do I want to add some more dimension? Is it done? I still have these really cool hairy pieces of ribbon. Just don't know exactly where. Oh, I know what I want to do with these. I'm going to slide this up. Oh, I haven't decided about these yet either. If you use a needle and thread, you can actually sew these buttons on wherever you want them to go. Not sure I want to use them though. If I do, I might just do something really simple. I'll come back to the buttons. I think what I want to do is have these ribbons hanging off the bottom. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, but I could cut these so that they're shorter. And I think that's what I would want to do. Have an odd number. And do I want to put them on the front or the back of the ribbon? I mean, of the banner. I think what I could do is put the first one here, because I can hide the top of it behind this heart. So I'll do that because I definitely want that on there. All right, so we got that. There's one, and that's a long one. There we go. Make sure it's not squeezing out behind there, because then it'll stick onto this fabric. All right, so I have a long one there, and then I could do another. I could put it behind here and do another long one here. I think that's what I'll do. In which case, to put it on the back, we would have to flip it up so that the glue is on the back of the banner. Okay, so before I do that though, I want to get my design set. So I'm going to slide this up again so that I can see how these ribbons work. Now I have this one other ribbon that doesn't match those. It's different than these, but I could still use it. It's pretty cool. And these are all about the same length. So I have to decide, do I want them to stay the same length, or do I want some shorter and some longer? Do I just want 3? That's kind of nice right there. I'll set these aside. I think I'm going to use these 3. Okay, and I'm going to glue them to the back so they just kind of come out from behind. So I'm just gluing that on there, and then I'm going to go about the same distance over and glue the other one down. There we go. Now, there we go. I'm just going to pull off the extra glue just so it doesn't take forever to dry, because we don't need a huge glob back there. Okay, So if you have a hair dryer, now's the time you could actually use the hair dryer to get that glue to dry faster. That's what I'm going to do. It's not quite dry yet. So I'm actually going to turn this over and just let this fold down here so that I don't get that glue on my black fabric. And I'm happy with this like it is. I don't think I want to add anything else. I'm just looking one more time to see if I do want to put anything, because I like these buttons, but I don't know where I want them to go. Huh. Oh, okay. That's more like it. Too even. I kind of want to use it, but I don't know exactly where I want it to go. It's not really standing out to me as to where it fits. And then if I put that in, I feel like I need to do one other thing, like maybe do something with this. Oh, I have an idea. What about that? Oh, I like that. Okay. See, this is why you have to play with the design and really get it like you want it to be. So I'm putting a dollop of glue right there, right at the top of that thread, and just pushing the button down on it. So I like it. So this is my finished product. Is put my banner on to my dowel and then put the yarn on my dowel so that I can hang the banner up. So I'm going to take my dowel and just tie a knot in the yarn onto the dowel. You can glue this on after you've tied the knot if you want to. Or if you have a different color yarn that you prefer using, you could do that too. I don't need this long of a piece, so I'm going to cut it. So this is my dowel that I'll use to hang this. And now all I do is glue my banner to it. You can wrap the fabric around the dowel, you know, put the yarn at the very edges and wrap the fabric around it. So we'll do this. Just putting a bead of glue on the dowel. And then I'm just going to let that dry. So after it dries on the front, I can then come back and put more glue along the back and then have it wrap around. See, right now it's just one side, but I can wrap it around the dowel. So this is my finished banner. I have to let all the glue dry and then I'll be able to hang it up. Thanks for joining us today. I hope to see you again soon.